Not competitive, not at all.
Okay, it is 5:15 on Thursday, October 17th at the Merrill City Council Chambers, and we are having our regular Marketing and Communications meeting today.
We have a theme song.
Let the music begin. Anyone else need to silence their phones or turn on their microphones so that we get the recordings, please? Okay, first order of business is to consider approving the minutes from the previous meeting of September 19th.
Move to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Okay. General agenda items for consideration. Discuss and consider the September revenue and expense reports. I don't know that they were actually included in the packet.
Did I get them? I might not have gotten them.
Yeah, I don't think they were included in the packet, so we will skip that and add them for the next meeting.
Good call.
Strategic plan revision, item 2. This is just a reminder, if anyone had any suggestions for revisions to the strategic plans, please make sure that you get them to me or to Mayor Haas or one of them, especially the pieces that pertain to marketing. I think there's several things in there that can be updated based on things we've accomplished already.
When do you need those by?
Probably by the end of November. Okay, item 3, discuss and consider the marketing budget from the 10-14 Budget Cow Committee meeting that we had on Monday night. This is being sent back to committee just as a referral to see if there is anything that we might look at as far as revising our requested budget, and I'm sure that the majority of that would be coming from a potential revision to our Midwest Communications ads proposal for the budget. So that, I think, is the main focus. I don't know what anyone else's thoughts are on it as far as making any proposals for revision on it.
I don't know that I want to have recommendation, but I do have some questions when you come up on a couple of the things that I saw in the reporting, that just some clarification that might inform the budget. Or do you want me to ask those now?
Sure, why not? Yeah, why don't you go ahead and...
I'm all on.
No, just a quick question. I know that we just recently added the vanity URLs to the visitor's guide and to the digital ad so that we could track the coming in. Visitor guide, I didn't really expect much, but I was kind of surprised to see 0 people had clicked on any of the digital ads through to the experience page. And I was just wondering if you had any insight on that at all.
So what do you mean by click through? What report are you looking at?
I'm looking at the web report that was provided that had the
Was that-
social media analytics, the bottom line said website analytics month of September.
Okay, so I don't see that. I don't get you guys' reports.
Okay.
All I can, if we bring somebody to your site, I don't know what their actions or what they do past that. I can just tell you that they'd seen your ad and they clicked on it and they went to your site.
But we're not showing that they're clicking on. There's a.
Oh, you are.
There's a disconnect, and that's why I think maybe what we need to do.
Oh yeah, you guys are getting clicks. I just see on our report. Like I did a report from whenever you started, and so far you've had 1,733 people click right from your ad to your site, and then you had an additional 1,240. Oh, sorry, that was different. 1,178. So altogether, you've had over 3,000 different times that people have clicked on to your site.
So I think what we need to do is maybe we can coordinate with who's handling our website and find out why our report isn't reflecting what your report is.
Yeah, because we have a pixel
Yep.
on your site.
I know how it works.
Yeah, yeah. And so we're showing that people are going.
Okay, so we need to connect with someone on that because there's a
Dustin is
disconnect.
here. Dustin, do you have anything to add right now, or you want to just look into that?
So the report that you're looking at, I think Hallie put together, we have Google Analytics set up on our website.
Right.
And the DG, I think, and VG redirects were showing 0 for the month of September. Now, the problem with Google Analytics on our website is if somebody uses Firefox, for example, or Brave as a browser, those are common ad blockers that block things like Google Analytics. So it's not an end-all be-all. That's why it can't be perfect. I guess I'm kind of shocked it would still be 0 for the month, but it's also not a perfect solution by any means. We've never done that kind of analysis on our website directly until I think I implemented it a few months back.
Yeah, maybe only a month and a half, yeah.
Yeah, so it's been collecting data for a little while, but we haven't actually looked at it until recently more. So,
Well, I work with Google for SEM campaigns, and sometimes it takes up to 3 months before Google actually catches up to start doing reporting.
okay.
Yeah, let's just
So-
keep an eye on that, yeah.
So if you guys just recently put that on, you guys, it could be
Well-
just a matter of it catching up.
It's been connected to our site for probably close to a year by now since we
Okay.
redid it. But the analysis and all that we haven't really looked at because I guess I just haven't done it either.
Yeah, because
But-
our reporting, and because we report from the ads and who gets served
Mhm.
ads, and they're going to your site,
Right.
so.
So we're getting a click-through, it's just not showing up on our end. Maybe that's something, I was just wondering about the disconnect, so I think that's just something, maybe we give it another month, see if there's a catch-up, and if we
Well-
still see 0, then we've got to figure out where the disconnect is.
And I can always give you my IT department if you want to ever talk to them to see if there's something that maybe you're missing on your end or something that, because that's all my IT department does is look at numbers all day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can get you, if you would like to chit chat, via email. They're not very personal. I got to tell you that. So, talking on the phone, they hide in their computer, like their cubicles. They're not very social. So everything would be done completely email. But
that's fine.
I can do that. So.
Yeah, I think that'd be helpful.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Back to the budget itself as far as the Midwest Communications contract portion of it. I don't know if anybody has any thoughts on it. We're looking at paying $1,200 per month for the targeted display, which Cameo explained the other night. We're looking at $1,000 per month for YouTube, not the City of Merrill YouTube, but for normal YouTube usage, and $1,000 per month for the ZTV, and $484 per month for the radio spots. And the numbers that Cameo had given us, or sent to me, and I think maybe Scott, was the radio spots, the specific times that our ads play. In a week's time, we're basically looking at hitting probably 61,000 people, listeners at that time. So I guess those are the categories. I guess my thoughts are, if we have to make any cuts to the budget, I really hope we don't have to, but if we have to, my suggestion might be to cut the ZTV portion out of the contract, the $1,000 per month for the ZTV. That's my thoughts.
Cameo, what are your thoughts? I mean, don't cut anything.
Yeah, don't cut anything. Well, with the ZTV, it's the OTT, but it's $3 less per 1,000 impressions because of the fact that we're able to offer this product at a little lower cost to you because of the fact that you weren't utilizing all the products that it could, you weren't doing everything that it could be doing. So there was no purpose of me, getting you OTT again. Plus, the pricing of OTT went up substantially, and it would have been triple. So I was able to find a way with my digital director on a product that will be suitable. You won't be losing anything. You'll be actually gaining $3 per 1,000 impressions. I am not a web surfer person because whenever I'm at my computer, all I'm doing is work. I never am on my computer for fun. So for the true YouTube, I'm not that user, but I am the cable, non-traditional cable user. So it's really hard for me to say because of the fact, it's apples to apples. I don't know, how do you guys, do you guys see more commercials with non-traditional cable, or do you guys do YouTube a lot? What is you guys' average percentage of usage? That's the thing I would.
Well, I do know that YouTube has really upped their game with regard to streaming and ads, and they're making a big effort and a big push to do more. So, I think it has more to do with, less to do with what we do personally than what has to do with the number show. And, so if we had to cut, and I'm with LaDonna, I hope we don't. You guys give us a good price and you give us good service for what we pay. So there's no complaints there. It's just that if we had to cut, would there be one thing we'd cut? Would we skim a little bit off of everything?
You could skim a little bit off of the ZTV and have it be like $700, I believe is the minimum you could do. I wouldn't touch, I wouldn't try to skim back so much that, it's just like a cocktail. If you have a cocktail and you have the right portion of alcohol, you taste it, but it's not going to overdo it. But if you don't have enough alcohol, then what's the point? So you don't want to spread each of the campaigns so thin that, you don't want to, you want to make sure that it's a full drink, So, I mean, whatever you guys' suggestions are, but it's basically, the products are, which one do you feel, you'll get more out of? Like I said, the non-traditionals, that's me, but I'm not a web surfer.
So is the radio, I'm sorry if I'm asking a lot of questions, is that okay?
That's why you're here.
Okay, so with regard to the radio, a lot of that radio, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I probably am, a lot of the radio that we're getting is actually just to reinforce the Merrill activities, anything that are going to Merrill residents and surrounding residents. So if we have other ways of taking a look at maybe how we do that and focus a little bit more on that outlying areas where we're trying to get people to come to Merrill versus reinforce the Merrill brand within the city limits, would radio be something we would consider?
Okay, so what you're asking is adding more radio or doing
Less.
Oh, you guys are bare bone minimum radio already. But I work outside of Merrill, and nobody knows what we had going on. Absolutely nobody. And so I think that this is a good way of getting our name out there because nobody knows what we had going on. We were non-existent. I mean, it was our reputation whenever I started at Midwest. To be honest, whenever I said I was from Merrill, I get laughed at and picked on because it wasn't good reputation. And now, whenever people talk about Merrill, oh, I hear they got this. It's positive, and I see it because I work in the 17 counties surrounding, and so the reputation is much better. And that's with the radio.
Not disagreeing with you. I was just saying if we have to cut, and I don't want to, but if we have to cut, we got to find something. And it sounds like what I'm hearing, is we're better off cutting one thing than paring back multiple things.
Correct.
And so what we would have to do is take a look a little deeper at some of these things, and maybe, I could dive deeper into the reports that you provide, and then I could talk to your IT folks and see what they have to say.
Well, I guess the point is, if we have to do anything, we're going to have to do it by the next budget meeting, if we're going to do anything. I don't know, Rod or Mr. Mayor, if either of you have anything to add to this conversation right now that you want to share or talk about, or?
I don't see us cutting anything. I think if anything, would be a recommendation to follow through with what we're doing, and we'll have to make that adjustment, I think, next cycle, next year.
Okay.
I don't know, Steve, you have any?
The only area that I would consider is what Scott said, the radio ads, the radio. That was my...
Okay. I guess I was looking at it just from the sheer number of impressions that we get for the, I mean, if the ZTV is 27,000 for 1,000 and we can get 61,000 on the radio for half that price, and we're still serving the what's going on in Merrill piece of it too, that was my thinking on it. So that would be the only reason I would consider that. But I'm perfectly fine with going back to the cow and saying we don't want to cut anything. So does anyone have any final thoughts on that? Do you want me to go that route, or do you want me to?
On the budget, outside of the Midwest Communication, there's the 32.5 for the social media position. We have been discussing a couple different things, and it will be brought up at COW as far as that position and another position, combining those into a part-time employee. It's getting to the point where we can no longer consider that position a contractor, but that'll be brought up at the COWs, just so everybody kind of knows.
What's the difference between a part-time employee and a contractor?
Hours worked, schedule, outside work, and just the control of the position.
Taxes.
Okay, thank you.
And it would be budget neutral as far as combining this position and the other one, as far as no increase in the overall budget.
So it wouldn't impact our marketing portion for
Correct.
that? Okay.
I believe that we're going to talk about that at the Personnel and Finance, because in talking with the finance director, those positions are already budgeted for that amount, so it's more of a job title change.
Okay.
So just so I'm clear, that would be removed from our budget and moved over to...
The 32.5 would still come out of this budget for social media.
Let me ask that another way. No, I'm kidding.
Good try.
All right. Well, does anyone have any final thoughts? Otherwise, I will go back and just say we're going to stay where we're at right now.
I would like to make a comment whenever you go back. I did not do any increase, and I fought very hard for you guys. And so, because there's increases across the board. I mean, nothing cost the same that I did last year at this time. And so I was able to grandfather you in to all your rates. So I just want to make sure that everybody is aware that I'm going to bat for you guys.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank
So-
you very much, Cameo. We
Okay.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. Well, then I guess we can move on to the next agenda item, which is, let's see. Consider any holiday promotional marketing. I guess that's, I mean, if anybody's got anything in particular that they know of that Hallie needs to know about, or we want to, kind of hit on it all, otherwise.
I believe at the last meeting, it was stated that you want to go through with giving the prizes for the holiday lights. So
Thought we canceled that.
That wasn't how I remembered it.
Just for the businesses, not for
Yeah.
the.
we canceled the business portion, not
Okay,
the
yes,
citizens.
yep, that's correct, yep.
That was the only one that I remembered.
Okay. Next item, recreational economy for rural communities grant opportunity. That's how long ago I wrote this agenda. I don't really remember even what this was. It's a grant that Sarah, what is her last name? Guild? Sarah Guild, the Lincoln Economic County Development Director. is working on. Oh, perfect. Wonderful, Sarah. You can elaborate what the grant is about. You can elaborate how it might be beneficial to marketing.
All right. First, are you able to hear me all right? I am traveling in the car, so.
At the moment, we are.
Wonderful. So this is a grant that we did have to submit yesterday. So unfortunately, I'm bringing the information to you a little after the fact. But the recreational economy for rural communities grant, if we are lucky enough to get it, which I anticipate getting a response either in December or early January, it is a technical assistance grant, which means it's not a monetary grant directly. We wouldn't get any funding, but what we would get is free assistance from federal consultants, possibly state departments as well, to help us develop some planning and actions related to developing the recreational economy. And specifically what we wrote the grant for, due to the parameters, we had to make a proposal that would tie recreational assets into supporting our downtown economies. So I worked with a number of individuals, as well as the mayor and Rod and Merrill, Tomahawk, and the county to draft a proposal that would ask for assistance with creating a way to better connect the trails, in Merrill specifically, the Riverbend Trail, to our downtown so that people had a more obvious connection between the trails themselves and our downtown shop. And we were going to propose to do the same thing up in Tomahawk, so hopefully increasing traffic between those points. And in addition, we asked them to assist us with developing a larger plan to connect the trails in Merrill and the trail in Tomahawk using a cross-country trail that would hopefully go past some of the rural amenities, parks, and other trails, things like that, in the 20 to 30 miles between those communities. And ultimately, what I think we would love to see is a plan to help build on all of the work that everybody has been doing over the years to try and brand Lincoln County as a destination, not just a place you drive through on your way to Minocqua or other places, as a place to go, even more than it already is, with all of these trail amenities, and hopefully we'll build some other recreational assets as well. And so we put that application in yesterday with letters of support from both cities and a resolution from the county board, and really hoping that we will get this. And if we do, when the good news comes through, then we will be creating a planning team with representatives from all different entities in the area. And I would anticipate that this group and others will be brought into the planning, and there will be community forums, broader discussions to make sure that whatever is developed is supported by the community.
Okay, I think we maybe lost you at the end there. So really the consulting part...
to bring some things to life.
Are you still there, Sarah?
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say,
yeah.
So the consulting portion of it would come in beneficial for the marketing, just to be able to get some additional strategies on the how-tos and things like that as well, correct?
Yes, absolutely. I would anticipate that marketing will be a key part of this. It'll be, both how do we bring these things to fruition, and then how do we let people know about it? And right now, you've already got some great assets in place. But as somebody who recently came into the community more than I ever had in the past, there's, I think, some opportunities that could be here for even just signage could really help connect. But personally, I would love to challenge, assuming we get this, I'd love to challenge them to help us come up with a way to make the railroad tracks less of a barrier. between the trail and the downtown. Things like that, kind of thinking a little bit bigger. What could we do to really let people know that this is here, and how could we market it to raise awareness and utilization?
Sarah,
Go ahead.
some of the other things that we had talked about when you brought this to us was just making connections. The federal and state are going to have the connections with the railroads and the grant opportunities, and I think that's kind of where we're missing out, and that's a piece that you help us with, but it doesn't hurt for maybe someone with a little more connection to be on our side, so to speak. So I'm all for it.
Yep, absolutely. I have some information, but I don't have all the information. I'm hoping we can bring in the people who do. And, and honestly, even if we don't get this, like I've been saying, I feel like this has just been a really great exercise for a lot of people to assess what we have going on. And even if we don't get the grant, it may be worth talking to, some of these ideas in the future, and seeing what do we need, and is there a different angle we can take to build those relationships, like you said, Rod, and try and put some pieces together, at a lower level, because we won't have all the free assistance, but doesn't mean that something still can't be done with or without it.
Sarah, Scott Steele here. Are you aware of the River District Development Foundation's effort to connect Wausau, the trail to Wausau, and also connect it, Stage 2, from Merrill to Tomahawk?
I absolutely am, especially now. I did actually reference some of that in the proposal.
Okay, good.
And really, I'll admit that one of the reasons that I thought, that this would be something to focus on is because of all the work that's already taking place between Marathon and Lincoln County. And if we could build off of what they're doing and take it to that next level, I think that'd be amazing.
Yeah, we'd love to work with you. I'm on the board of the RDDF along with John Crone, who's the president. So I think just a phone call or a meeting just to get everybody up to speed may be worth it.
That would be wonderful. I know I did have a conversation with Bill Bertram, who I understand has been involved in,
very involved,
in that stuff as well. Yes.
Yep.
So he and I actually met at a conference a couple of weeks ago and had a really good conversation.
Okay. Well, then you're well up to speed if you're coordinating with Bill. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Any additional connections would be appreciated.
Okay, thanks, Sarah. I think this is just a good springing opportunity for us to kind of, see where it takes us from there. So that's why I wanted to make everybody aware of it. Item number 6.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sarah. Business hiring data survey. This is informational. Scott asked to discuss this, so I don't know if you want to elaborate, Scott.
Yeah, Sarah and I have worked out the initial draft that we'll share with the board before we do anything with it, with the committee, of the questions we want to ask, because we need to understand the companies and the businesses in Merrill and what's been going on with their hiring. What we're trying to understand, A, is have they received applications from people outside of the Merrill area, hopefully, out of the North Central region, and then second, have they hired anybody outside that area? Because what we're trying to do is understand if we are drawing people out or if we're just simply moving chess pieces within our own territory, and we don't have that data right now. So one of the things we're doing with the businesses is to do that. And and then the second part of that is we want to also work with our real estate agents to understand if the people that are moving into these places, into the apartments, are also, once again, just Merrill people moving around, or are we drawing people from outside the Merrill area moving to the area. So, that's a survey we're going to be putting out. We're going to be going through the chamber, but we also understand not all businesses are part of the chamber, so we want to find a way to get it to all businesses, just to help us identify that and start building at least a baseline, because we don't have any kind of baseline right now, and then we can use that baseline to monitor future growth in the area. And then the REV data, Rod and I are part of a group called for the Rural Entrepreneur venture, and it's a group. It's a program put together by the University of Wisconsin and another couple groups. That basically we've been City of Merrill has recently just been approved as one of 2 counties in the state of Wisconsin to participate. There's a lot of requirements that we had to go through to meet. You have to have a certain low population. You have to have a certain amount of people involved, et cetera. And we were at a meeting today, and we just received a data dump that was very insightful, that also gives us some insights on what's going on in Merrill as it compares to Lincoln County and Marathon County and the state of Wisconsin. So these are all things that we can use to help inform our marketing efforts going forward. So there's a lot of data stuff going on right now, and because we don't have any baselines for that, and it's time that we start to get those.
Awesome.
I think somewhere along the line at a cow or maybe early next year would be very informative, even if we'd send the data out to the council members so you can review it and ask questions, because I think we were not taken aback, but there was some glaring things in there that we can capitalize on and maybe even improve upon. So it was good.
It also confirmed a lot of the things we're doing, which was made me feel better.
In a good way, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I mean, our target audience aligns perfectly with what the data they provided us with, some of the information like that. So there's a lot that they're doing for us, and it's being run and led by Renee Frederick of Freemark, and we're just starting the engine on it, but it could be really good.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, anything else on that? Chamber of Commerce update. Sarah, you want to offer us whatever information you have to update us on?
We just held the board strategic planning yesterday, and I think that went well. But there's some discussions that we will be rolling out, I think, by the end of the year. I had to leave early to be on TV. But otherwise, we had our annual celebration last week, and I think that went really well for those of you that attended. I hope you agree. And we were a little bit lower in attendance, but I think that just came up with a couple of the key players that normally come, had other obligations, yeah. But otherwise, we're doing well. Our visitor guide is rolling along really, really nicely. We just, I think, closed up on ads sales today, and we should have, we're pretty much on par to have it released by December, ordering 20,000 copies this year. And then we're all set to go for I think we're going to be going to 6 different, for sure, sports shows next year. So we have a lot of things going on, and we're working on that. So I don't know if you guys have any specific questions for the chamber, but.
You want to elaborate on the NFL draft meeting thing that we had too?
So we did hold our initial NFL draft meeting, being that, obviously it's in April. You might think that it's, a bit ways away, but we do publication advertising with Close Publications, and they are coming out with a draft publication specifically for this, and they'll release it in January, February. So a deadline to get ads in for that is December 1st, and we have purchased a couple pages for that. But our knowing and feeling is that since Green Bay and Appleton, Fox City area are already booked up on hotels, we're hoping that people will come here because it is a nice, convenient drive, and we do offer other things that maybe others don't. But so we do have a small little committee with that. And then we also took a call with the Wausau Visitors Center, and they specifically set up a call with Green Bay and discussed what Green Bay is doing to help other communities like us be able to take some of that overflow, and how they're setting up everything at the draft to be able to handle shuttle buses and other things like that. So I did, Hallie and I did get volunteered. We did volunteer ourselves too.
Yep.
To sit on a committee with the Wausau area, to have Merrill participate in that. They did agree that they already signed up 1 or 2 Lamers buses at least, and they're going to at least include Merrill as at least one stop then. But we do know that we would like to see if other individuals are willing to put together a package for that purpose, but we need someone to step up and kind of coordinate that. But yeah, so we have a little over a month and a half to get all of that kind of figured out, coordinated. If we have rental cars that we could advertise, if we have hotel special rates, any shuttle bus, packages, any airport packages, any of that. So if anyone has any, willingness or want to help coordinate any of that, I guess just reach out. I've just been kind of throwing these meetings together right now, so.
Okay.
But I know we're meeting again October 22nd, I believe. So
At
10 a.m. So I believe we might have it. I don't know if it's going to be here at the chamber this time. Our table should be cleared off this time, but it might be easier to be here because it is a little bit bigger. But I will get that out to the committee, and we'll let anyone know that wants to participate and help with this join us, obviously. So.
Okay, thank you.
Do you think there would be any interest at all for our airport?
Yeah.
You think so? Okay.
I mean, it's a nice airport. We've got fuel, as you know, we've got the fuel, I guess, that is an important aspect that maybe other airports don't, is what I'm hearing. We've got the runways that can accommodate where other airports maybe can't. So why not offer that
Bring it
and
up.
get a rental? And so I know we're going to be talking to Gary Schwartz and just the general hotel idea too, but also airport stuff as well. But definitely something to consider, and we can put in the advertising then that we do have that option. So.
Okay. Item 8, discuss and consider an ordinance amending Chapter 2 regarding standing committees, and I think we're looking specifically at page 9 of the packet, 9 and 10, regarding the marketing committee. The first thing to note is that first line where it says whom shall be voting members, where it's stricken out. That should not be stricken out. The three alderpersons appointed by the mayor whom shall be voting members should all still be in there. And then I also believe one of the other things we should consider adding to the committee members is the social media specialist events coordinator as a member also. So I don't know if anyone has any other comments on the proposal.
I do. Surprise. I think you might be able to do more of an umbrella rather than public relations or social media. If you put communications in there, that can take care of your marketing, it can take care of your social media, it can take care of a whole lot of different things. So that's something to consider.
Okay.
Are you looking for a motion to approve the change, or is this going straight to?
This is going to go referred back to council. This, excuse me, Mayor Haas has
Be looking
had
for
brought
a
this
recommendation from this committee to council.
Say that again.
Be looking for a recommendation from this committee for council. The reason for I don't know if LaDonna, I was getting a drink of water, I'm sorry. But the reason for the changes was this committee has morphed into, it's moving forward, and we want to keep the momentum that way. And before it was in its inception. So I think that we've accomplished where we want to go, but we want to keep it moving forward.
Are you going to submit a change?
A change to.
There'll be is there the amendment for the communications person? Is that what you?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd have to amend that here and then send it to the council with the amendment.
Okay. All right, so I guess if I can throw this out there then as a suggested amendment, for paragraph 1, 3 alderpersons appointed by the mayor whom shall be the voting members, 1 Chamber of Commerce member, and 1 citizen with a strong background in public relations and a
Communication?
communication.
No, back that up, public relations.
Yeah, remove public relations.
Just put
And just
communication.
Communications, replace it with communications, because that is a little broader umbrella. Public relations is a whole, it's a specific,
PR.
yeah, it's PR, it's writing PR releases, it's setting up interviews, it's all that kind of, there's a whole different, it's a skill
Okay,
set
so-
particular.
So,
You just said,
Chamber of Commerce member, a communications member, and 1 citizen with a strong background in public relations.
no. Just, and with a strong background in communications.
Okay, strong background in communications.
Yep.
Okay, the Chamber of Commerce designee and the citizen member shall act in the capacity of non-voting advisors to the committee as needed.
Along with the social media would be
Oh.
ex officio.
Okay.
Social media could fall under communications.
Oh, gotcha,
Yeah. It's more of an umbrella.
gotcha.
Did you get all that, Lori?
No, I don't have it in front of me, so I'm gonna have to use your copy.
Do you want my?
Okay. Well.
Because you guys.
Well, I move to accept the changes as read.
I don't even know what they are.
All right.
To include communications and get rid of public relations.
Shall I try reading it again? Do you have a copy to write on now?
Yeah, I have just part of it.
Well, the part that you deleted about the voting I took out, so.
Yep.
Okay.
Do you want me to read it?
Sure, why don't you?
Okay. 3 alderpersons appointed by the mayor, 1 Chamber of Commerce member, and 1 citizen with a strong background in communications.
Okay, but it has to say 3 alderpersons appointed by the mayor whom shall be the voting members.
That has to stay, yep.
Okay? And then it says the Chamber of Commerce designee and the citizen member shall act in the capacity of non-voting advisors to the committee as needed.
So Park and Rec is in
We all good on
They're
that?
welcome to be here and have input. They're not.
Motion to approve as reread.
I'll second it.
Okay, a motion's been seconded and made and seconded to approve as reread.
Hold on.
Hold on.
Well, I think we should add the social media specialist
As a ex officio member.
As an ex officio also.
Yeah, I think that can go in
Just
there.
so it's, because there's a citizen member and then
Yes.
plus the social media.
Does that work for the second in the
Yeah.
motion?
I approve the amendment to the amendment and the second reading of the amendment. I'm good with it.
Okay.
All right, we'll look at it one more time before we send it off to council, but that's what we will refer to council.
Okay.
Well, when you refer to the November meeting, or you?
You'll have it, what you're editing there will go to the November meeting.
So it'll be, yeah, to the November council for approval.
Do you want to read it one more time, just so we all know what it says?
I can try. I mean, it's, yeah, you guys should try to take notes with this. Okay, the alderpersons appointed by the mayor, or 3 alderpersons appointed by the mayor, whom shall be the voting members, 1 Chamber of Commerce member, and one citizen with strong background in communications, and the social media specialist.
Correct.
Okay, the Chamber of Commerce designee, the citizen member, and social media specialist shall act in the capacity of non-voting advisors to the committee as needed.
That sounds good
Right?
to me.
Okay.
Does that still meet the second?
Yes.
and the-
Yes.
Okay. I think we have a final motion to forward to the November council meeting.
Who seconded?
Me, for both.
Okay, thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, are we ready to move on?
Mm.
Okay, we are on to standing banner. Any updates, Scott?
Yeah, I've got the stuff written, I just haven't put it together. I haven't recovered from my trip yet.
Okay. All right, we'll just keep carrying that forward then. All right. The tourism grants.
Can I
Ally?
make one comment?
Oh, sure.
Back on the banners, please. The ones that are listed here, these are the ones that are pretty much set? Oh, they're not set?
No,
Okay.
those are the ones that the ads are from. These are the ads that we do through the marketing, the Midwest Communications.
Oh, okay, I thought these were the banners, too.
No,
So
those
what-
aren't the banners.
Yeah, so there's going to be one banner that we're getting done, and what we're going to do
Okay.
is kind of combine the three concepts.
That's what I was going to say, these were all like one.
Yeah, no, they're combining the
Okay.
three concepts with a montage of imagery to show the different stuff, so.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right. Grant updates. Hallie.
The tourism grant is meeting October 22nd at noon at the chamber, so we will hopefully find out after that if we were granted $1,500 or not for the Food Truckapalooza. The GEM grant I'm finishing up this week, and I will send it to the advisor through the GEM grant application for her to read through before I submit it before November 1st.
Okay. Good deal.
Yep.
All right. Lincoln County 150th anniversary celebration. I think that's just a reminder that is this Saturday. And it starts at 9?
Noon.
What, there's
well-
stuff in Tomahawk at 9, is it, or 8? 8 till?
Pancake breakfast at the VFW at 8. They're doing a history tour.
There will be I think it'll end up being a more self-guided history tour, and the Historical Society will be open. And then, yes, down here at noon, they do have the Discover Wisconsin doing their presentation with their new, or 3 of their episodes that they've launched. And then, yeah, the carnival and the band and food trucks and all that
Where are
fun
the
stuff.
episodes being played?
At the Expo Center.
Expo, okay.
And then we also have at the library, the Northern Pines Genealogy Group has a genealogy fair going on the entire from 10:30 until 2 that day also.
Okay. Good. Thanks, Laurie. So I guess if you have the opportunity to share that information when you see, I know the Chamber's posted and Hallie's posted it with the city, so if you can just keep sharing that, that's good. Tour of Lights update. We're still on for 2 buses,
2 nights.
2 nights.
We just need the volunteers to run the tour guide, run the maps, but we will find those.
Okay.
We need one for each bus.
Yep.
I'll volunteer if you're looking for.
Can we give you a Santa hat?
Sure.
Cool.
I'll do it too.
Perfect. That makes
And
me
I-
feel
Just
so much
remind
better.
me, please.
I will remind you.
Okay.
498,9,000. Bob laughs.
And then you'll put the, start putting information out for
I
that
have a
in
Santa
November or
suit,
whatever.
And I'll wear it.
I'll email you.
Dang it.
Thanks
I'm
for-
not going to get picked and I
Thanks for
volunteered.
the heads up, Bob.
No, this is perfect. I'll take a Santa suit.
It's brand new. I paid a lot of money for that thing.
All right, any other comments on that? I'm afraid to ask, but monthly
I've been building
reports.
For years to fit into that.
Monthly reports. Are there any questions on the reports from Hallie at all for the social media specialist reports?
Good bump.
Yeah.
It was really nice. Yeah.
That's done.
Yeah. Yeah, if you guys, if you and Dustin can work and figure out why we're getting nothing on the other stuff, but we should get something, I would think so.
The other one had 2,400 hits, so I don't know if it went to that experience, Merrill, versus the DG and the VG. That's the only other thing I was thinking, because that one was stronger than it had been.
Yeah.
So I know.
Just something we got to look into.
Yeah.
Okay, page 14 is this Cameo's overview of how our Midwest Communications marketing report is looking for the month, and that's put in the simplified terms for those of us who aren't technical gurus and don't want to look through all the rest of this stuff. So it does look and appear that things are doing well based on that. I don't know if, Scott, if you have anything to comment on the report from Midwest at all?
No, I just the disparity between the two things, I just think we need to dig into.
Okay. Well, with that, I would entertain a motion to put the reports on file.
I'll make a motion to put the reports on file.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And public comment. I guess we're down to public comment. Any comments that haven't been made yet? Okay, last call for public comment. If not, then I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Next meeting is November 21st at 5:15.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.